Hey, it's Joe Glias from the Automator, another episode of what we automated with AutoHotKey. Let me use Prompt Assistant to kick off a bunch of stuff. So, and now I actually have these banners automated too, I think. It should be flowing through them. So there's my webcam reminder, recently modified files, start and stop the do not disturb mode, the webcam reminder. Yeah, cool. So should have done that a long time ago. It's funny how you don't think about some stuff, right? But there we go. Got a bunch of stuff there. That's interesting. I must have shrunk down my webcam at some point, which is fine. Move that there. But let me move my webcam up here more. This yellow box just reminds me that that's where my webcam is because I can't see the webcam, but you can. Anyway. All right. Let's see what we've been up to. Email merge. Again, this was a script that I used to send out email last week for selling stuff. It does a mail merge on the spreadsheet. And I gave a demo of it during the last week's what we automated, so I'm going to skip that one. This random news meme. So this was a separate script, and I'll talk a bit more of it when we get to this other one, because what I did was during a hero call, it took the whole hour, I think, but Isaiah converted another script I have from a V1 to V2, and it's a really good walkthrough if you're trying to learn, the differences between V1 and V2. And after he did that, then I'm like, okay, because this script I have here, this random news meme generator, what it does is it looks on my folder, randomly selects a meme, and then I have it swaps out the path for the website because we have the memes up online as well. So it randomly picks one. I use the local files just because it's easier instead of grabbing them from online. I get the local files, grab a random one from there, and then I swap it to the path up there, and it gets pushed into the newsletter. Well, this was a separate script before because it was a V2 script and my other one's a V1, and I couldn't just embed this in it. And I'm like, someday I'll swap it over. So after we swapped it over, the other one over, I put this one inside of the other one. So I'll maybe do a little demo of that. HK Toolkit. Did Isaiah make some changes? We were looking at some weird stuff I was experiencing, and we are working on a V2 editor. I don't know if we're going to call it Toolkit because Toolkit has a lot of other stuff in it that Isaiah said. He made this thing, like 15 years ago, maybe a little longer. He was learning how to use AutoHotKey at the time, and it was part of why he built Toolkit, but he also built it so he'd have his tools, right? The editor we're trying to work on is going to be a simple editor, kind of like Site in the sense it'll be a simple Scintilla editor, but we're not going to have a bunch of tools in it. It's not going to have hotkeys and hot strings, at least that's not the plan. But we're going to allow people to choose between V1 and V2 and the different bitness, and have some IntelliSense, Scintilla, the highlighting, like this color here, where you can see the different colors, so we'll have that. But have it a nice thing that's, but it's all written in V2. Toolkit's written in V1, and so it's obviously very old. So we're going to have it in V2 and have it as a nice place for people to start, because VS Code, which we have a great course on, is great, but it's a Ferrari, and sometimes you just need that Toyota to get you to the store instead of taking out the Ferrari every time, which is why both Isaiah and I still use Toolkit a lot as well, but we would like to have something a little more robust, a little more functionality, but also in V2. All right, HK Killer, yeah, Site, Scintilla. So we were playing with Toolkit V2 Scintilla. I'm not sure how far Irfan has gotten in that. HK Killer. This, I think you can put it in your scripts, and it will go and kill certain scripts, which is cool. Yeah, audio transcribe. Windows RT version. I didn't realize we had done that. Is that actually public? I don't know if this works. I have no idea. Let me open the folder first. And let's see here. Looks like that is a recording, so maybe it works. I'm going to double click it. And maybe it's launched. Yeah. I'm trying to see. Oh, here's. Okay, is there a hotkey? Audio insert. I think I disabled my insert key, and Windows Shift R toggles. So if I hit insert and hold it down, I'm going to find out if this looks like it's recording. So I am recording, and it's probably going to take this and send it to AI. So I let go, submitting to Whisper. Oh, this is just I'm sorry, just transcriber. Okay. So, uses Whisper. We can transcribe very quickly. So now I'm going to start talking. I hit the hotkey, and we'll see how this one does. And it's going to display it, but it's also on my clipboard. Oh, uh-oh. That was interesting. So, yeah, we're not done. I'll let Irfan know there's a little bug here. Looks like maybe we locked the file. Let me see that error. Oh, my error assist actually hit it. Let me bring up Notepad just because I have Scintilla already open and paste. When I hit a property line. So, yeah, we'll have to look at what the second time through. Let me try it again. You know what, though? I might have... Oh, I think it exited. All right, I'm talking, and we'll see if this time it works. Maybe I let go of it because I probably hit it and let go of it. Maybe when it's not long enough, it has an issue. So submitting it to Whisper, and now it does a beautiful job transcribing. It looks like we truncate. But now let me try it again here. I'm going to hold it down. I think last time I just hit it and let go. So we're testing this. We'll see how well it does. Hopefully it does a good job. No, okay, so interesting. So the second time through, it's got a little bit of a bug there. I'll exit out of that and try to let Irfan know there's a bug in that. I didn't even know I'm sure I asked for this. I just don't remember it. We've been pretty busy lately. That's Windows RT. It's great because it relies on the built-in Windows library, so you don't need FFmpeg, and it's very quick to start. And of course, you don't have a 130 meg file you have to download because FFmpeg, it's a great program, but it's kind of big. Our transcribe and summarize, oh man. Irfan's been trying to incorporate assembly. Well, assembly I was already part of it. We were trying to use it for the summary, and he's already spent a couple days on this. Like, this is where people don't understand how, we build some cool stuff, but it takes time. That's why, one reason why we sell our scripts. But he spent several days on this thing to try to get Assembly AI to do the summaries. That way we only need one token instead of needing a token for Assembly AI for doing transcriptions, and then a token for OpenAI or for Claude. And we were also going to put in Open Router, and that way we would only need at the most two, because the Open Router has access to Claude and OpenAI and 340 something other models. But yeah, it's a pretty complicated. Well, we might talk about it during the hero call, because the stuff, the trouble we ran into with the AI tool, it's really interesting and it's very specific. But I'm not going to go into it here. But it was very interesting of why it was problematic. All right, here's our audio recorder. This one does work. This one's on our website, and let me make sure I exited. So I'm going to run it, and audio recorder. What? Oh, he just hard-coded. I'm going to pull it up. We actually covered this during the hero call. And I'll probably extract that bit. But there's a F1 to start and F2 to stop. So if I hit F1... this should be, and we have a little tooltip. So this isn't meant to be as like it's an example, right? So I'm recording now, and then when I hit F2, it will stop, and it's going to generate, it's not going to play it, but it's going to generate that file in this folder. And so it's just an example of using that Windows RT, this one, yeah, stupid. Yeah, 921, which is now this morning. So this was, I could play it, but it'd probably echo because it would come back over the speakers. Let me see if I can do this right. This should be, and we have a little tooltip. So this isn't meant to be as like it's an example, right? So I'm recording now, and then when I hit F2, so what I did was I switched to my system audio so that way it doesn't catch it off of the speakers. And yeah, so it records instantly, but we're overriding the same file. Again, it's just an example file, right? But if you wanted to very quickly record audio, it's super fast and lightweight, and that's just an example of it. So there we go. Clipboard format. We actually finally released this tool. This is a great tool. I'm going to go ahead and launch it. And now we have the trigger class, so you can choose your hotkey. There it is. All right. And let's see what the Control T shows. This will toggle if it's watching the clipboard or not. So now if I come in here, and I don't know if I should be able to copy from here, and it will tell you, so it's just plain text, that's only plain text. But if I was in Cite, and let's see, I don't want to share that. All right, so here's our last week's newsletter. Now, if I come here and select all and come up here to say edit copy as RTF, now note it says rich text format is on the clipboard. And if I go to Word, when you do, and I should be able to just paste this here, I think. But if I select here, let me bold. Actually, let me make that a hyperlink. Oh, I thought that would make it, I guess because it's in quotes. Let me just. All right, so now that's a hyperlink. Now when I select here and copy, so here it's saying there's all these different formats. There's plain text, HTML, rich text, blah, blah, blah. And now if I hit Control T, I can choose between them which one to keep. So I can hit plain text, HTML format, rich text, or keep it as a picture. So if I keep it as a picture, now if I get rid of all this and paste, that did not seem to work. All right, well, we'll have to look at that. I'll make sure we double check that. I thought we checked everything, but that's funny. It looks like well, let me do this. Actually, get back to this. Copy. So meta file, yeah, that should be there. Control T, image bitmap, and it's still it's not pasting it as the image bit. It's not only keeping the format as an image map. So identified a bug. Yay! One more bug. It's it's good because we haven't really shared it too much yet, but not sure what's going on there. But it allows you to pick and choose which format you want to keep on the clipboard, which is cool. Well, that's what it's supposed to do. This video sandwicher, I think later today or tomorrow I'll make a video on that. I can start it at least and show you, explain it. So what you do is you drag, you start with my intros over here and outros over here, and you import files into the middle, and you can concatenate them on each side. So again, I think I actually covered this last week. I haven't created new intros and outros, which is what I do need to do in order to use this tool. So maybe I'll do that today also. Record a bunch of those, then we can demo it. Get active path. Oh, that was my effortless video reducer. So I just compressed Saturday's call, and it went from the original was 670 megs, and now it's 103. So it saved, it's 15% of the original size, which is awesome. The quality's decent. You can still see everything pretty well. So I keep these in the cloud. I don't even keep them on my hard drive, but I do have all of them, and I keep them in case we lose YouTube or something. But yeah, because we have, I don't know, 450 hours or something. It's a crazy number of hours. But yeah, that effortless video reducer. I will put that up here. I also noticed a bug in this tool. We don't share this one, so I'm not too worried about it. But for some reason, it's copying some other text to the clipboard. And I looked at it. I don't see where it's coming from, so I'm going to need one of the guys to look at it. I don't know. I did hear Isaiah and Irfan were doing something with Get Active Path with VS Code. I didn't catch what they were trying to fix, but they apparently made a change to it. This function library got created during the hero call. Let me see if I can edit it here. It's just some examples, and Isaiah optimized it a bit, but I rarely send hotkeys or hot strings anymore because it's just too easy for something to for the notepad during the hero call we saw where it wasn't taking all the keystrokes, and so I will use a paste. And so I have a lot of little functions that I use depending I have in my library that I can just call. So there's backing up the clipboard, automatically copying the selected text, pasting and restoring the clipboard. Sometimes I just want to paste. But they're having them in functions in here just makes it where now I can do this. Will actually, after I paste, it will move the cursor to the left or right, which is convenient also. So just a little handy library that I use, and I highly recommend you have something like that to use pasting instead of sending keystrokes. Audio capture. This is the library, which is like the example one we used before. Get Explorer selection. So this I think got updated to get the active file in Explorer. Open router. I think this is online. I know I asked the guys if it was ready to share, and as I was mentioning earlier, the open router. Let me pull up their website just to show you the concept. So here, if we go to models, there's 517 models in it. You can filter on, I just want those that deal with images. So they have 124 that deal with images or just text. I find that hard to believe it's 124 just text. Let's see. Oh, I see. I'm sorry. It's adding the filters. That's a weird, I guess because that way you can select the combination of stuff. So 517 do text. But if I want those to do text and image, now I'm down to 124. But if I just select image, we got 124. What about those that take files? Only 41. Or those that take audio. I know there's not many on audio. Yeah, because it's OpenAI, Google, Gemini. I think that's it, if I remember right. Yeah, not a lot. And not our Assembly AI, which is one we really like. Now, what's cool also is if you come here to rankings, you can see for stuff going through Open Router, you can see how things since December have really, taken off, right? But also you get the percent of who's, what's being used this week. Yeah, this Grok Code Fast 1, it's very, very popular. Yeah, that's, I think this one down here. But yeah, it's cool to be able to look at, you can scroll down also. Let's see, top, I don't know how many they'll show, the top 20. This is market share, which is just, total usage. But what I like is this one, because now I can look for programming, recently, what is this? Grok Code Fast, oh, wait a minute, yeah, Grok Code Fast 1 is got 50% of all API calls. I mean, that's granted, it's pretty new, but still, that's amazing. So you can change this to say, oh, well, what if it's for marketing, right? So you can help kind of see what other people are using. Apparently, a lot of, Gemini 2 Flash, Llama, so it gives you an idea what other people are using, right? Role play, yeah, okay. Technology, legal, finance, health, trivia, academia. So cool that you can kind of get an idea of what other people are doing with it. Let's say finance just for fun. Yeah, there's not, I don't think it's as much usage, so they're collapsing them a bit more. But still very cool. I don't remember what's below here. Tool calls? Oh, interesting. So what's being used for tool calls? Oh, good. Images. I didn't realize I had that. So let's see. What is the hottie for images? Gemini Flash. It's probably... Is 2.0 the one with Nano Banana? It very well could be, and that's an incredible model for playing with images if you haven't played with it. Claude Sonnet. Gemini 2.5. That's interesting. 2.5 Flash. I think that would be the Gemini model of the Nano Banana. Anyway, what top apps? Oh, interesting. I don't even. I don't know. I'm curious what happens here if I click it. The volume. Interesting. All right, so let's get back to our stuff. Unit test, triggers. Yeah, we use that triggers class a lot. It's great. So this is the file, and there should be a V1 and a V2. Yeah, so this is the one. This was the original V1 version, and Isaiah walks us through the adapting it to V2. And then after he adapted it, I brought in that meme check. or puller. So this is the main script. Here's where this is where I'm calling the get the funny meme. I created a function, and I put the function at the end of the file. So that's not part of the hero call, but I just put it in here because it's all V2 now, so I can just incorporate it into it. I could have done it as an include as well or whatever, but I just put it here because to have it all together. And yeah, pretty cool. I'll share that entire video, I think, for walking through, because if you have a template, if you have something you do a lot and you want to have things that get replaced automatically for you, it's a cool example, I think, of how I'm able to do the AutoHotKey newsletter. I write it in Word and then use a website called HTML6 to convert it to HTML. And this before I do that, well, somewhere in between there, it replaces the HTML with stock things like the banners and stuff. So it's very cool. We're working on a script for our website and extracting people who haven't opened or clicked an email from us in 45 days. And yeah, this is the banner one I was trying to play with earlier, which there's a little weirdness to it. That maybe I introduced. I don't know. Here's the syntax writer, which is, man, if you're playing with Win32 controls, this is a must-have type tool. We added it to Ultimate Spy. I can see it right there. Writing numbers just came up during the hero call. Well, in our Telegram group, and we were talking about having AI, because I think it started off where I had posted a video with Excel using Copilot to write out numbers, and Isaiah remembered we had done that before with AutoHotKey, and I think this was a script that it gets up to the millions if I remember right, but it will actually generate. Let me see here. So we can generate 1, 2, 3. So it counts up to 1,000, and you saw how fast that was, right? So it's a program instead of using AI. So let's add another 0 and see if it gets to 10,000. Apparently, and darn, that's quick, right? So very cool little script. This is an example that it's not that hard to do. So why have AI do something that AI, you can't be sure it's going to do what you think it'll do, but a program, if it works, can. So that's why we'd rather use that. And that's basically it. So, our tracking time stuff. So this one, I'll be checking this one out later today to see if it worked. It keeps track of, during the hero calls, I can hit a hotkey if we're on a topic that I think we're going to want to extract, and it keeps those time points in also the name of the file that we're going to go rip it, and writes the FFmpeg code to go rip it for me. So it's actually my son's idea, and it has saved a lot of time. There were just still some bugs we're working through of getting it to work properly, but it's still really, really big time saver. And it's helping him. Well, it's kind of ironic because he gets less time, but he's doing our editing now for some of our videos, and so he's learning really well. I'm actually very impressed that he's really picking stuff up. Good job, John. All right, love you. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. Please like the video if you learned something, or if there's something you want me to focus on in one of these, just let me know. Cheers.